Hello and welcome to our podcast. We don't currently have a name for this, but we'll get to that then. Anyway, I'm your host, Hunter, along with my co-hosts, Ian
Hi, that's me.
and Zach.
Hello.
Now, we don't have a name for this podcast yet because we don't know what all we're going to talk about.
Oh, I guess I should probably screen share what I can just screen share what you guys are actually seeing. Yeah. So that you know where I am.
Okay.
All right.
So, we'll be starting off this podcast with talking about the different items that are coming to the newest season of League of Legends, which is most likely after Worlds.
Yeah, we
Is
don't know
currently
exactly.
going on, in case you live under a rock.
Um, so I guess first things, marksman mythics. Gale Force kind of seems kind of, it just seems underpowered to me. And
Underpowered?
yeah, like the actives, I mean, I guess it does quite a bit of damage. I don't know. I haven't really messed around with it at all, and it's not really meant to be a damaging one.
I
Do
mean,
you,
I tried it on Yone, I think it was, and the only issue with that was that I need to get into the habit of using more items. But it seemed like it did pretty good because it dashes you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the mobility's obviously nice, and you probably take
Yeah.
it into like Blitzcrank or Morgana, or
um the only clips I've seen of Gale Force are just clips in which they just one shot with the active of it, and but I haven't seen it in any games, and that's only a small portion
it's
of
probably
the
gonna
clips.
Riot released the thing where they said like they're gonna nerf certain stuff
Yeah.
if it's not
We'll
or nerf
we'll
or
get
buff
to a
stuff
certain
if
we'll get
it's
to a
not
certain item that we're glad is getting nerfed.
which or like if it was nerfed or buffed if it's like above or below a certain pick rate. So I bet that's probably gonna get buffed. Um and the mythic passive is just kind of weird. Kraken Slayer, it's the attack speed mythic passive's nice.
I mean, hey, that's
It's quite a bit of damage.
yeah.
Um
Okay.
it,
Do you think the Kraken Slayer could also go on set?
maybe.
Because that would be pretty good if you do the normal attack and then the Q right after.
I feel like Set probably builds a different mythic.
I
I mean, yeah, but like just for fun, I
it
think it would be interesting on set.
yeah, it would be. Um, so Immortal Shield Bow, the Mythic passive is now different on live, or not live, but PBE. It's currently 50 health and 5 physical damage, or attack damage per.
Okay.
I think everything else is the same.
Okay.
No, no, hmm.
So,
It's
hmm.
I I feel like it's gonna end up it's gonna be more consistent than Kraken Slayer, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Just be
Especially since it gives 12% lifesteal, and then
Yeah,
you get another 20% lifesteal for 8
the
seconds.
only thing I don't like as a Kai'Sa player is I like the attack speed from Kraken, which
Uh,
in Immortal Shield Bow it you're getting way less attack speed.
yeah.
And something to note, it's not 20% life steal, it's 20% in wait.
No, he said 12%.
It's
Oh wait.
12% lifesteal, and then the lifeline gives an additional 20% lifesteal for 8 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
It's
it was increased.
it's no
Oh,
longer
okay.
20% additional, which
Right.
like I the way it was worded before was weird. Sunfire Aegis, this it just does a lot of damage, I feel. I haven't really used it at all. Zach, I know you have.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think I've tried it on like support Malphite yet.
The thing that I don't like about the tank mythics is that they're pretty costly, like compared to all the other mythics. Like they're up there with the damage mythics,
Yeah.
and tank items are
Mhm.
generally very cheap. You also, when with building Sunfire Aegis, you're building both resistances when you typically only want to build one when laning. And something that I like about the tank mythics though is that um they all have the immolate like aura, which I know that Mundo goes um Sunfire Cape because of the aura, even though he can't proc the
The CC.
damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Um,
that's nice.
so how does Radiance feel?
It feels extremely good. Yeah, you could
It,
something to
it,
note is it doesn't just stack off of the CC part, it also stacks off the aura, and
okay.
you'll end up doing a lot of AoE damage.
So
Set probably takes this also.
um the mythic passive, like you're getting what, by the end
Yeah.
of your build you're getting 35 ability haste, which is
Yeah.
crazy from one item. It's probably gonna be what, like around 30, 27, I don't know, somewhere in there of CDR, that is.
Yeah.
Frostfire. I wish it increases. I wish it increased in size like Iceborne does now, except scaling with health instead of armor. But
Okay, before we get too far into this, let's give context on that. You two have been playing the game for a lot longer than I have,
um,
so if I don't have much to say, then that's why.
yeah. So I've been playing since either late season 4 or like early, I don't know. I've been playing for like half the time the game's been out. Uh,
Uh I've been
I've been
playing for a little less than a year, but I have watched a bunch of videos and
I haven't been playing for when did I start playing?
uh,
In like April?
you started playing. You played before quarantine, but then got you actually started playing consistently at once quarantine started.
I think it was in April, I think it was when I
Like
started actually playing more.
like it was a few it was like a half a month into quarantine, I think.
Yeah. So, and I haven't watched a bunch of videos, so I'm still learning a bunch of stuff. So, if I don't speak as much as them, that's why.
Yeah. Um Also Frostfire, just seems like Cho'Gath because like I mean I don't know if it's gonna be the best, but it's gonna be fun on Cho'Gath just because of the size and health.
Yeah.
and I think it'll also be a nice alternative to GLP Glacial.
Yeah, maybe.
Mm,
Uh Make tank Cho'Gath more prevalent.
Mm.
Um Berserker suit, it's just righteous glory. But it now gives armor and magic resist. Actually, I don't know if it gives armor and magic resist on PBE right now. I think it might only give one resistance, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Um,
okay. Now, how about this on set?
that's something else that could work. Um, he might be able to do like, actually, yeah, with like phase rush set, you could run at them with this proc phase rush, try to get behind them and then ult back. I don't know how good it is in practice, or well, or why you wouldn't just take Righteous Glory now, but
uh, I haven't played set, so I've played set like once in One for All, I think, and that was it.
yeah, it's I know. So Zach plays a lot of tanks, and you don't like that they kind of just took mana out of tank items.
Yeah, they took mana and well, they took CDR out of every item, but like there's not as much mana and ability haste. Like there's not as much mana in the game anymore. Like basically unless you're an AP, unless you're a mage, you're pretty limited in what you can do. Like as a tank, the only option I have for mana is um what's it? Frozen Heart. And
You don't
I
always
don't
need that.
yeah.
Um, and like you're not always gonna building Sunfire Aegis. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe you might, but
Who
oh,
knows?
something I feel like so they want to make it so like that you build a different item based on the situation you're in. I feel
Mhm.
like by giving every item hybrid resistances, you're just discouraging that and enabling people to build like it's
Yeah, I can
Well,
see that.
they said that they're going to be giving tank shaper resist profiles, which I don't know what that necessarily means,
yeah.
but I'm assuming maybe something similar to adaptive force, but for resistance on your mythic item.
Yeah. So, okay,
Okay.
down to assassin items then. So
Ooh,
50
Duskblade.
now when it was first out on PvE, like day one,
Oh,
me and Zach, I don't know if Hunter was there.
I was in that match. I was in that match when we first found it out.
We encountered a Misfortune Yumi duo who the Misfortune took Duskblade and it didn't unstealth her when she auto attacked. So like she got a kill and then she went invisible and she just kind of kept she just kind of ran over our entire team. Now that's since been patched, but
Thankfully.
yeah. But Duskblade and it gives an insane amount of ability haste once maxed. Um, it's probably gonna get nerfed,
Oh yeah,
but
definitely.
it's fun. Um, Eclipse also completely broken.
Really?
Oh yeah. So
What's
16% max health damage is just a ton, and
oh.
you also get a shield from it, which is just kind of
Y-
unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, just take this item on any champ. You'd probably do fine.
Also, what is Omnivamp?
So that I think it's just you healing from anything. I'm not entirely sure,
Oh,
but so before you used to have like they took out Spell Vamp a long time ago. Um, then they added in some items that would heal off. So like Ravenous Hunter was like spell damage or like I don't remember, but it was essentially Spell Vamp. Um, but now it seems like Omnivamp is going to heal you off spells and auto attacks, which is just
okay.
super nice.
Yeah.
But Eclipse overall and with the armor pen is just crazy with the unique passive or
Yeah.
the mythic passive.
Speaking of armor pen, which is another reason why tanks I feel like aren't as powerful, is that like there's a lot more pen in these items,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
it's
Okay.
a bit scary at the moment. So
Prowler's Claw. Just I encountered a Talon. Well, I think I was playing my Kaisa build that I run on live with like instead of like Manamune, I had like a something. I don't remember exactly. But I just got like I had a Zanya's Hourglass and I just got torn through.
Really?
Oh, it's kind of nasty.
yeah, I don't think this one's as bad as
It
the Eclipse.
for
Okay,
Um,
well,
squishies, it's kind of
it's plus
crazy.
yeah,
45% bonus attack damage for the
Yeah,
uh,
active. That
but
that's
on
like
that's not that
Talon,
bad.
I
I mean, yeah, but on Talon, just thinking about it, just
So the cooldown on this one compared to the others is not bad, but so 30% armor resist. Say you have 100 armor about that takes you down to 70, and then after that your lethality is getting applied, and if you have so 24 if you're full build from the mythic passive, and then 21 from That's what, 45? Yeah, 45 armor, and then depending on how lethality scales, you might even be, it might go higher than that. But that's like shredding you down to below like 30 armor from 100 with between the, which is crazy. AP items, Leandry's just strong. Um,
Gotta
Yeah,
listen to Leandri's salesman.
yeah.
I feel
The
like
Oh, sorry.
you could probably just go this item in most games and be fine.
Yeah, I built it on Oriana and it felt really nice. I did the math on it in a graphing calculator and with I think it was 800 build power I set it to. Um, Demon Hell or Demonic Embrace or I forget what the item's called, but there's another burn item that deals 8% max health damage total. Um, that doesn't outscale this unless the target has greater than 3,500 health. So
Huh.
Um, uh,
it's
the MR shred on this is also just insane. Like,
Oh, I didn't even realize that it shreds MR. Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah, it
why.
shreds MR,
I didn't even. My eyes just saw 4% max
Oh,
health, and I was and
and
scaling. Ooh,
it's
25%.
pretty good.
yeah. I had this on Oriana along with Demonic Embrace or Demonic. I don't know. And I didn't feel like I was necessarily doing a ton of damage, but like I was out like way beyond everyone else in damage.
Okay, so for the shredding their magic resist by 5%,
Yeah.
will that stack 3 separate times with Ari's W, or will it only stack once since it's one spell?
It no, it will it looks like it
Or
will stack based on so for every second that the torment is on them.
oh, okay.
So yeah, yeah. So if you hit them once, it'll shred it by 20%. Now it the when it's actually at 20%, it'll go away instantly. But so you'd need to hit them twice in order to actually get the full
Yeah.
shred. But yeah, it's that's quite a bit. Luden's Tempest, Luden's Echo. I I feel like Leandry's is just better. Um,
Um, this is also pretty good. Especially for AP assassins like LeBlanc.
yeah.
Um,
I Do you see anyone else besides LeBlanc taking this really over Leandry's?
uh, I mean,
I mean, uh,
any champ that built it before, I feel like people are taking it on now as well.
Okay. I
Uh,
I feel like Leandry's will be more prevalent though, especially since it's branded as a starting item.
yeah.
mm,
Everfrost kind of it itself does not feel like it does any damage, but like I guess the snare or root, yeah, the root is nice,
um,
but it does freeze you in place to in order to cast
yeah,
it for a brief.
this is supposed to be the replacement for GLP, but it kind of does suck that this roots you. Like, not really. It doesn't
It
root.
locks you in place for like a split second.
Yeah, when GLP wouldn't. Uh, the visual clarity is a bit weird because it kind of looks like a Lysandra Q or what?
I would not say that. I think the visual clarity is pretty good. I
Yeah,
think it's kind of weird that this grants the 15% AP.
yeah, that seems pretty weak compared to the other
Or
passives.
I don't know necessarily weak, but I feel like it's just weird. It doesn't like fit with the rest of the item.
Mm.
Um, it's just proto belt. I guess the movement speed is new, but uh,
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's different. Does it? I mean, it still has a dash, but I don't
yeah,
think the move speed change. That move speed is new.
I'm pretty
um,
sure movement speed is new.
so something that kind of does suck also is that Pertobelt used to be like a cheap item that some champions could just rush to get a big power spike.
Yeah,
But
because the
now they're
active is
having
like,
to invest a lot of gold in order to get this quick power spike when they could probably just go a different item.
yeah. Uh, Axamux Folly, where it's replacing Rod of Ages, even though it doesn't scale. I would rather just have Rod of Ages, honestly. Especially with Tear being a starting item, I would like to be able to go Tear of the Goddess, um, Rod of Ages, but or and then straight into Rod of Ages. But it's I guess this is nice. I don't even know if a Kali's gonna take this, because there's no more Gunblade, and this is the only AP item that gives Omnivamp.
Mm.
So like Akali really likes Gunblade, but Akali's probably gonna be better with Night Harvester, the next item, which it just does more damage than Luden's, unless it does more damage than Luden's unless you need the mana from Luden's, then you kind of have to take Luden's. But this, it's just crazy.
Um, yeah.
I
Uh, and
Oh,
specifically speaking for like a collie, it probably depends on what you're going for. Like if you're going for longer team fights, then Oxmux might be better. But
yeah.
like if you're just looking to 1-2
Like
assassinate
so
someone,
maybe for Oxmux go Conqueror, maybe Night Harvester, like Dark Harvest or something.
yeah, like electrocute.
Oh yeah, yeah. Triforce, the attack speed is nice. It's a lot
yeah.
of attack speed. This is gonna be crazy on Jax. Oh, I didn't mean to right click that.
And I mean, the cost is what was it, 400 less now? Wasn't it
I
37,
I I
33?
think I think so. Sounds about right. So less cost, a lot more attack speed after this. It's
Oh
right away.
yeah.
It's less. And then the stacking base AD is going to be really nice, especially since this does 200% base attack damage. So essentially, it's going to do 260 once this is fully stacked. I believe, yeah, 260% base AD. I feel like this is overall just really strong, and a lot of bruisers are just gonna feel really nice with that. Like Aurelia Jax,
Garen.
Yeah, Garen. Oh yeah, that's gonna be nasty on Garen E. Gore Drinker, no.
Um, I don't necessarily know how strong this item is, but I do think it's a little bit weird that it's
It's
supposed to be a dueling item, yet you aren't necessarily rewarded for
hitting only one person.
or like discouraged for hitting
Yeah.
multiple.
So
Like I
I know we had talked about this um by ourselves. I think I had brought up that it might be better if it was like you heal 200% from the first ally in the or first enemy in the circle, and then 50% for each additional,
hmm,
which would just make it better against one or two people, or just like have it additional for like one person and then have it heal less for additional targets.
yeah,
But like right now, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't discourage it. But it's kind of just Tiamat, which is different. It looks like they changed it. Oh wait, never mind. I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of. Never mind.
yeah. You're
So
thinking
this you kind of just become Olaf except with 80 instead of attack speed. Olaf I might like this quite a bit. Olaf will also like attack speed. I don't know what Olaf's gonna take. Stridebaker, and the dash is very short. As I was initially scared that I might have tanks just dashing at me, but it's not. It's not
I
big.
I also thought it would have been a point and click dash, kind of like Prowler's Claw, but this isn't point and click.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a teeny tiny little dash with a Ravenous Hydra at the end. Now this was now it's not like this anymore, but Divine Devour. It's listed as anti-tank, but Spellblade. Deal bonus physical damage equal to 6% of your max health. Hmm.
Huh.
It seems like it's just for tanks, but no, it has been changed. I think it does missing health damage.
Okay. To say that kind of seemed broken, especially since it grants legendary items to 100 health.
Yeah, so it Cho'Gath to 6,000 health. Um, that's 360 damage, I think, which is just kind of ridiculous for a Cho'Gath to have. But that's tank items. Now enchanter. There was another enchanter mythic added, which it's kind of like a mini night harvester. You, with a much shorter cooldown, it's kind of crazy. But you slow someone and it deals bonus damage, and then it marks them, and an ally can apply that or like pop that mark for bonus damage.
Okay.
Yeah, it just seems like it's gonna be really strong. The one that's not listed here. Now, Zach, what I really don't know what my thoughts are on these.
Um. Uh. So I feel like consensus is that the support mythics are just weak, like the enchanter mythics.
Okay.
Like you're not getting any AP on them.
Now, I think they did remedy that, and you are getting some AP now, right?
Yeah, on Moonstone. Um, but I guess Shurelias and Locket, you're not necessarily taking on enchanters. You're probably
Yeah.
taking them on like tankier supports.
Iron Aura is gonna be nice. It can kind of force your ADC into building armor, even like if they're just dense and they're getting one shot, but they're not building armor. This just helps them. You can
Yeah,
just remedy their mistakes for them.
yeah, you could potentially also see like a Scion building Locket,
Now
although probably not as much anymore.
it doesn't scale with max health anymore, so
Oh, it doesn't?
no. At least
Well
it's not
then,
listed. But
that sucks.
That's rough, buddy.
I kind of wish Vital Stream scaled with AP.
um, I mean, it heals quite a bit already.
Although they did increase this to 37.5 to 150 max, which is it's quite a bit of healing, yeah.
Yeah, Moonstone Renewer heals quite a bit, although, like, what people complain about is that, like, for pretty much every single enchanter is going to build this, yet they're not getting any AP. So, like, why would I build this first item? I'm not getting anything that would help me to do damage or heal more
Yeah.
other than the passive.
Now in the mid lane, if you go like Lulu mid, you're probably gonna take the
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 new
new one. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, Imperial Mandate.
Yeah, that's just. I feel like in order of power it goes Imperial, or for enchanters, it just you're either gonna take Moonstone or Imperial,
Yeah.
and then I honestly feel like Shurelias and Locket are just better on tankier, like maybe Braum or Braum would probably take Locket, but like Shurelias is just I don't take Shurelias now, even if I play support. I feel like not many people
Um,
do.
I think Rakan likes it.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I think Rakan will still take it, but he's not really a enchanter. Okay, new legendary items. This is just Jin Misfortune Collector, that is.
Yeah.
Because they both like lethality, and it also gives crit chance, so it's kind of crazy.
Maybe Varus, but like
Mm,
if
I
he
don't
builds Rage Blade.
no, I don't think Varus is gonna take it.
Alright.
Well, what about like Talon in that? Will that be good on him too?
It might be good on Talon because of Talon's passive, but
Ah,
the crit chance is kind of weird. So
mm,
that would synergize well with the contract killer and Talon's passive. Now, something I didn't think of that Zach had pointed out to me is that the contract killer is going to essentially eliminate CS mistakes. So like you're an ADC, you shoot a minion, it's at 1 hit point or 5 hit health, or it that's gonna essentially make you do a little bit more damage and just finish it
yeah.
off. Now I did mess around with that in practice tool on Kaisa, and I couldn't actually get a good clear read on how much damage I was doing because like the contract killer passive just kept proccing. So like I I was doing like 8,000 damage compared to like with other builds I was doing like 2,200. So I don't actually know how much damage that does and how nice it is. Navori, it's crazy. It's Shojin, but for ADCs, which I like it. I like it a lot. Um,
And
Oh
this is probably
yeah.
gonna change, but like right now it stacks with itself,
oh
so
yeah.
you just have 0 seed
So
cooldowns.
yeah, if you get 5 of
Oh yeah.
these,
That's definitely gonna
100% crit
change.
chance every time you auto attack, it's gonna proc and all your abilities are gonna be reset. Although
So
that does cost 17,000 gold to do, so it's not really
Broken.
realistic. But
so how would that work with someone like Yone? Like, would that just affect his E then, or will it actually make it seem like there's no cooldown on his Q?
it wouldn't be. I don't know if
It
it
could
will
just,
affect his Q. I haven't tested it or his W for that matter.
for all I know, could just be not good on him.
It's probably not good as. Hmm,
I'm pretty sure it would work on the Q and W because it says that it reduces your abilities and not gives you CDR
uh,
or I don't know.
maybe, yeah.
I don't
So,
know.
but yeah, Yone and Yasuo are probably not going to take that because they don't really need the ability haste or like it,
Yeah.
and they like attack speed items, so they're going to take Infinity Edge and something else that probably
Right
gives
now
attack
they've
speed.
been building Rage Blade.
Rage Blade. Oh, okay, so not Infinity Edge then. Huh.
Um, yeah, I think they have been
I
building Infinity Edge Rage
That
Blade.
um
Actually, no, no,
no,
not
probably not,
Infinity
because
Edge. What am I talking about?
that would not match up with the Infinity Edge.
Yeah,
You know what? Let me find that. No, it's just way too far down. We'll get to it. Force of Nature. I prefer the old or the passive that was in Nexus Blitz. Which shields you for 1.5% of your missing health every or your max health every second. I think I preferred that. I don't know if this is necessarily better, but the movement speed is nice.
but didn't Riot already have a problem with that though? Like the
Oh,
healing.
well, yeah, but it's more fun. That's why I like it. Um, yeah,
Makes it
it's a
more
lot of healing.
funner.
Yes, I agree, Hunter. Um, Serpent's Fang, I don't see a situation where you take this.
Uh, I
Well, unless
mean,
I
it's shields, would that? Okay, well,
well, okay,
I guess
okay,
it wouldn't really affect spell shields if
no.
you're an AD champion.
So I mean, I guess you might take it into like Set, but like Set shield doesn't last that long, and you're not gonna be trying
Yeah,
to assassinate Set. I'd
Tom
s-
Kench, Mordekaiser. Uh,
Mordekaiser's W that would be good against.
yeah.
well, yeah, but why would you be trying to kill those people as assassins? Like
Yeah,
if you're focusing those people,
Uh,
you most likely already killed their backline.
because you have Eclipse or
Right.
Duskblade.
Um, but
well,
so
what
like
about something like on Misfortune? Would that?
I and then maybe that's actually a good point.
Because that would
Um,
actually help shred down Mordekaiser then. With
that is a very good point, Hunter. Um, but so I'm picturing Talon, right? So he's up against a Lux,
Mhm.
uh, or someone who builds Seraphs, and is scared. So Lux W's Seraphs, but Seraphs doesn't have its active anymore, so she uses her W, and I feel like I don't know. It might end up being super good, but I feel like it's right now
Who
it's kind of
knows?
really
One
really
thing to
hyper
real
situational.
One thing to really note about this is that it's only out on the PBE, so some of us haven't had as much experience with the items. Like I still have yet to figure out what most of the items do because I've only played AP Malphite.
Um, I mean to be fair, I've played mostly Kaisa, but I've tried out basically all the ADC items and a lot of the assassin or the lethality items. I've also played Orianna a bit, so I played some of the AP items. I've not really tried out any of the tank items. That's where Zach comes in mostly because he's like he plays a lot of Maokai.
He's
He is
built different.
he is tree. Um, so I Zach, you play Xerath. So
Hmm.
do you think that Horizon Focus is gonna actually be good?
Um, potentially, yeah. Like, um, this feels like one of the later items you build. Uh,
So 850 range is quite a bit. That's like Caitlyn's attack range plus 300. So like 1.5 times Caitlyn attack range. That's quite a bit. Oh wait, no,
uh,
plus
yeah,
200. Sorry, 200.
but it also triggers off of immobilizing effects.
Oh, okay. I kind of skipped over that every time I read it.
Yeah.
That
So, like, it'll help you to just like one shot someone
okay. What
if
are
they're
your
not
thoughts
Well,
on
affecting.
Maokai
okay,
taking this then? I mean,
No.
probably not because it doesn't give health, but
okay. So that mean would it be good for Caitlyn's traps or no because of
no,
the
it's
ability
AP.
power?
It's a
Yeah.
no, it's not at all worth it. You
So
get much bigger bonuses
so
from
who are
just
some AP people that would be good with it then?
so
I
the
guess Lux
so
has a root, so
yeah, Lux, Cassio maybe.
Um,
maybe.
Ziggs,
Does charm
Vel'Koz.
does charm count as immobilizing them?
Yeah, I think so.
Then I guess
I
it would probably be good for Ari then
I
with her
don't know,
charm.
but I think so. And yeah, that would actually be quite good on Ari because it's just raw damage essentially.
Yeah.
Again, late game though because you want other stats early. Um, Cosmic Drive. Now this it feels really really nice on Oriana because Oriana takes shoot, what's it called? the movement speed after hitting something 3 times. Phase rush. That's it. She goes real fast with this. I don't.
Um,
This is gonna be for like AP skirmishers, I guess.
this could also just be like um for some champs that maybe don't want it in their core build. This could just be like a hey, I want to sell boots kind of option because it gives
Maybe.
movement speed.
Okay, Maokai. What do you think Maokai takes this
No,
instead of boots?
no, I
It
need to get
it
in.
gives 200 health. Well,
Okay,
you
but
throw a sapling at them and then you get movement speed, and it gives you ability haste. This solves your ability haste problems.
no, I need to get in first though.
Uh, um. Now, okay, this is the item I was talking about. In conjunction with Leandries, it's kind of crazy. Uh, 80 AP health armor from while you have people ticking and max health damage.
That seems like a lot.
It is. It really is. So
Yeah, this is supposed to be like an AP bruiser item, and I can see this being very good on them, but there's also not really any reason to not take it on mages or
yeah.
AP
Yeah.
tanks, but with AP tanks, it's most of the time later in the build because it can feel a bit weak
So
during the building of it.
so
So,
with this and Leandry's Torment or Anguish now, yeah,
yeah.
Leandry's Anguish, you're burning 12% max health uh with both of them plus 60 plus 10% of your AP, I think the scaling on Leandry's is.
Mm.
Um then
And the shredding
you're
FMR.
shredding MR by 25%, uh and you get 20 MR and armor. It's just so much. And then you also get a ton of AP from both and health. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So like, and even like tanks, like so if you're going Malphite or Maokai tank, I feel like they
Mhm.
can both take this and just excel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It, most of the time, it'll probably be one of your last items, but
Yeah.
if you're ahead, you can build it like second item, but like it can feel like I said before, it can feel quite weak while building it, but afterwards, like you could probably take on like 2, 3 people at the same time.
Actually, so I don't know how I don't know how good it would be, but Nasus could probably take this. His ult has AP scaling. He likes health, he likes magic resist armor. I feel like a lot of tanks that just have AP scaling can take it.
Mm.
Also Nasus E, but it's probably not gonna be great on Nasus. Um, this is just it's just Leandry's or not Rylai's, but AD. That's with some
Yeah,
armor pen.
it's kind of the replacement for Frozen Mallet, I think.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Um,
Yeah.
Although it's
That
only
makes
abilities, which is kind of sucky, but
yeah.
I don't actually know who or if anyone's gonna take this. It might be good on assassins when you're up against full tank teams because it's just
Yeah.
Maybe Ezreal as well.
yeah, this'll
I can see that.
because
'Cause,
this gets rid of the need for frozen gauntlet. Well, that doesn't get rid of the need, but like it allows you to kite better and uh,
yeah.
yeah, I think Ezreal could take this, especially into full tank teams. I don't know actually. Yeah, I guess it's pretty good. It just feels kind of weird having slows with the on the AD QSS for tanks. That's
Um,
what this is. Well, not for
no, I think
bruisers,
this is yeah.
but yeah, Darius definitely gonna take this into maybe a Lowy Gangplank. Yeah, it's that just QSS is already strong. It's this. It's gonna be good. Chempunk, it's grievous wounds for bruisers. Um, Zach, what do you think about the grievous?
Um, I think that most of the times for the Grievous proc, it's the 60% Grievous proc. It's a bit too strong or a bit too easy, especially with the amount that healing was reduced. Um,
Okay.
and sometimes it could make healing just not feel effective
Okay,
at all.
let me see if I can.
Okay,
Oh,
so grievous wounds affects the healing from like lifesteal in that, correct?
uh,
And also
yeah,
just
just
healing in
any
general.
healing. So, 1 second. I'm trying to find
Okay.
um Mortal Reminder. So they made it so that ADCs at 3 consecutive attacks, 60% grievous wounds until the effect ends. Do you think that the tank or the do you think that all of them? So like say Mundo, right? You get him below 50% health, but he jumps back up above 50% health. So then the healing is then goes back down to 40% reduced. Do
Hmm.
you think that all the increased version should have the until combat or until the effect ends?
No.
I
That would
I
just
kind
kind
of
of seem broken.
well it's that way for
Hmm.
ADCs, so I don't know.
Well, I think the reasons that ADCs are special is because they're supposed to be the damage dealers, the people who
Oh yeah,
deal or who build damage and just that, while everyone builds resistances and stuff.
yeah. I
And
suppose.
um, just having more consistency is also nice.
Then
So
we have um, Chemtech, which is just AP. It's Morello replacement essentially.
no, Morello's still in the game.
Well, not replacement, but like, does Morello still give
I think so.
Oh,
At
this
least,
is a support item.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
It
looking at the price and it doesn't give a lot of AP. Yeah. Okay, I'm just dumb and didn't. Yeah, that's just for supports, I guess. Um, yeah. Staff of Flowing Water. That it just seems so strong with the movement speed because like Lulu, you you give
oh yeah.
you give movement speed to your ally, but then you also get
Um, yeah, and especially since you're going airy,
wait.
this,
It grants ability power?
yeah.
I just want this on Kaisa. Like, well, not I don't want to build it, but I want a Lulu with this, and then
Well, I think it doesn't give the ally. Oh
grants you
wait, no, it
both
does.
15 like that
Yeah, never mind. Yeah.
40 AP. That's like another percent or so of missing health damage. Yeah, that's just I like that. I like it a lot. Um, no,
That
I don't like that it's only on ally healing or shielding, but it's whatever.
Well, if you go airy, then it'll proc off of more. Like
Yeah,
it'll proc off of Lulu W because of airy.
true. This just feels strong. It's, honestly, it feels like it's super gold effective.
Yeah, on with like the enchanter mythic items not necessarily giving you like AP or um most supports have or most enchanters have just been going flowing water first instead of moonstone.
Yeah, that just seems crazy. So then we get the warding. So ward item, essentially. 1,000 gold, you get now. You can store up to 3 purchase control wards if you have 20. If you place 20 stealth wards, transform this item. Now, for this, it says that you can. I think this means that you
Oh.
can place 4 stealth wards and 2 control wards.
Oh.
I think that's what it means. Which it
Um,
just makes supports more designated warders.
yeah, but it's like also very large investment. Like, and I think that the only reason to warrant such a price is if it is increasing the amount of wards you can place on the map. Which
Yeah. So this kind of reminds me of, so before they made it so that support items had wards in them. Um, there was a separate item that it costs a couple hundred gold, and it was essentially support items where every time you went back to base, it gave you health, and whenever you recalled, it gave you wards. Lee Sin took it. It was kind of crazy, for him, because just ward hops infinitely, and yeah, it was interesting. This reminds me of that, except it gives ability haste, obviously, instead of, and it also gives you the control word cap and the control words, which is, I like this because you can buy control words past full build,
Yeah.
which is it's just nice. Oh, and then the movement speed that,
oh,
I like
yeah,
this.
move, yeah.
So I don't know if this is, so is it going to be a total of 3,100 or 2,100? I assume it's just 2,100.
Does that mean you have to buy the upgrades separately?
I think
So
so.
it's going to go from Ancient Runestone, which costs 1,000,
Yeah.
to Ixtali,
Mm-hmm.
which you get from placing the stealth wards,
Yeah.
or there, and then it goes to Ixtali
Upgrade.
Wardstone upgrade, which, so you're gonna have to buy it, upgrade, buy it, kinda,
Okay.
which is gonna be weird, but it's 40 ability haste, which is a lot, and then 10 movement speed, but then also, yeah, it just makes
Mm,
supports designated warders.
Mm-hmm.
And it requires level 13 in order to purchase as well. So, and this is probably more around the like team fight phase, which is probably where it's most impactful,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Okay, now we get, so those were new items overall. Now we get to the legendary items, updated.
Updated.
So a lot of this affects me because Kaisa, but Infinity Edge is just, it feels so. I was messing around in practice tool, between trying out different builds, and I went full crit with, I had like 80% crit chance boots and a Ginsu's Rage Blade. I tried out the like tested out my damage per second, and then I sold Ginsu's, and I bought a Wit's End, and I was actually dealing more like 100 or 200 more damage per second with the Wit's End build on Kaisa,
Mm.
than the Rage Blade. Now it was unrealistic because I didn't have it like 2,000 health, 100 armor and magic resist, which I probably should have had it set to. But so with Kaisa's missing health damage, I probably would have ended up with more damage per second with Ginsu's, but I don't know. I didn't test that. I'll test it when it comes back out. Um, but yeah, and then Infinity Edge, I ended up buying an IE at some point. I was getting like 2,100 DPS, or I don't know, it
Okay.
was, but with Ginsu's, and then I was getting like 2800 with Infinity. It was just a big difference. Um, do any of you have thoughts on these or?
How good would Infinity Edge be on like Yone?
Um,
Like,
it,
would it be? Is it any better than
no,
what it is now, or is it like?
Well, in general, they've nerfed crit,
yeah.
because
So
they've
crit now does 175% damage increase,
Mhm.
instead of 200%. And
Okay.
I think I don't know the exact numbers on Yone and Yasuo, but it's less than 175. So it might just make Infinity even more essential unless they just go Ginsu's, which they have been. But unless Riot is just takes the fun away from Ginsu's and is like, no, then
yeah, and
Ginsu's, and you can't build Ginsu's and Rageblade. Like you physically, well, I
they're
don't know
the
if you
same
can build
item.
what?
They're the same item.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ginsu's and Infinity. I mean, sorry, my bad. Um,
Um, Another something interesting to note about Yone and Yasuo with Rageblade is that if they were building just crit, they're doing reduced damage than if someone else were to build full crit. But with Rageblade, that damage isn't reduced, which I feel like might contribute to why they're taking it now and doing well with
yeah,
it.
that makes sense. Especially so they get it's what 150% crit chance, a bonus crit
Uh,
chance.
yeah. So it's
S-
still 2 item power spike.
Yeah, that takes them to 150, or what 150? No, it takes them to 50% with just Ginsu's. So that's 100 bonus magic damage per hit. 'Cause it's either 100 or 80. I think it's 100 though. I don't know if it only applies every time you hit a 20 milestone.
Um,
Do you think Senna takes Ginsu's?
uh, I don't know.
It'll be interesting.
I feel like maybe not. Just
I
because she'd probably value like Deathblade, the crit and lethality more.
Yeah, that's another champion that's gonna be good on. But these there's a lot of stuff to test between these two. Um, Lord Dominic's just it's basically the same, except they added back the Giant Slayer, which is nice. I like that, and it's also crit now. Uh, Essence Re I Why did they do this? Why?
Did it make it worse, or?
So now it has a Spellblade, which is like Trinity Force passive, right?
Yeah.
So now after you cast an ability, your next auto attack is going to deal bonus damage, which it's nice, and it's quite a bit of a damage. But the problem I have with it is that you only restore mana on the Spellblade, so oftentimes the 3% mana is not gonna it's not even gonna cancel out the ability used to proc it. It's gonna like be a net loss.
Okay.
So it just like it doesn't give you unlimited mana, which it just
Oh,
feels bad, in my opinion. I don't know who it's gonna be good on. And it gives a lot less AD now. It gives like 30 less.
okay.
PD, it's kind of new Gensu's. Um, because the Spectral Waltz gain 7% movement speed, so a total of 14%, which is quite a bit of movement speed. That's like 3 tier 1 boots almost.
Okay.
No,
So,
two. It's a couple tier 1 boots.
so when Yone first came out, one of the first things you would build is Phantom Dancer. So, would this be
So
better on him now? or is it better to just build something else
Now
first?
part of the reason it was good on him is because of the shield passive that it currently
But
gives.
they,
It does not give that now.
yeah.
I
So is it just not good to
They
build
might
this
not
on him then?
him and Yasuo might not even take Phantom Dancer anymore. I don't know.
I mean, you're not necessarily gaining or benefiting from the 40% attack speed because most likely you'd at least want to have enough attack speed to have full Q cooldown. So you'll not necessarily benefit from it unless you're
From
just autoing.
And you're probably not benefiting from the spectral waltz attack speed,
Yeah.
which is this is why I'm saying it's a new Ginsu's because of attacking 5 times, although it's not a stacking effect. I don't really know who's gonna take this. It's the kiting is definitely nice. I don't like what they did to Gargoyle.
Um, Something that is nice about it is that you don't have to use it when you're at full health because it doesn't scale off of current health, it scales off of your bonus health. So, um that is nice.
Oh, this is something that you will probably end up building the shield shredding item against,
Yeah.
possibly.
Uh
But it's
the increased bonus armor and magic resist is nice. It doesn't seem like much, but it's nice as well.
yeah. It'll probably end up giving you like 2-3% bonus resistances, which or like actual like damage reduction.
Hmm.
Spear Visage, it's just same old, except now it increases shields. Um, Abyssal Mask, instead of just dealing, English, making enemies and take increased magic resist or magic damage, it's just reducing their
I
armor and magic resist. And
I
also, it doesn't give
hate
mana. It doesn't give mana.
I hate this. I'd rather the old Abyssal Mask just because this one doesn't give mana or ability haste, which
Yeah.
sucks.
Frozen. Whoa. Is that a tank item with mana? Whoa.
Yeah, it's
Huh.
Um, this is kind of this and Randuin's are kind of a new adaptive helm because of the rock solid passive. I don't know if this is just on auto attacks. It might be against everything. I don't know. I
it
haven't.
it just says incoming damage, so it's probably everything.
So Leandri's Torment just does nothing, I guess.
Well, it's capped at 40% of the attack's
Oh
damage.
yeah. Yeah, these are basically the same though, except for that. Although the active on Randuin's is what reduces the damage now, which I kind of like. Um, it's gonna feel bad as an ADC, but like, well,
Well, wouldn't it feel better because now, in order for them to reduce the crit strike damage, you'd have to be on, like, the tank would have to be on you.
yeah, I guess, yeah, that is nice.
So,
I don't know. Well, let's see how it feels. Titanic, it's same old, no active though. It's quite a lot of damage between the 1.5%. Or you're actually getting quite a lot of attack damage from that, so Scion is gonna love this. Like, absolutely adore this. Like, so let's say 5k, 6k health. Let's go 6k because it's just easier math. So that's 990 bonus 80, right? From 6,000 health. So like 120 AD. That's a lot of AD.
hmm.
Ravenous. This is now on PBE. It is Omnivamp. which is and it oh, also Tiamat and Ravenous Hydra now apply. Now they don't have. I assume this applies to Titanic as well, but they don't have actives, and they apply on ranged users.
Ah.
And
Well,
this,
Ravenous used to be only melee, wasn't it?
yes, yes, and now anyone can build it.
Okay.
It also now gives 20 ability haste, which didn't used to before, and that's nice. This is
Something
just
something interesting about Ravenous is it also procs on abilities.
oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So like Kale waves, every enemy hit by the wave is getting, which I don't know if it's gonna stay that way, but it's certainly interesting. To, yeah, it's just yeah, it's kind of ravenous. Do you know if Titanic does that as well, Zach?
No, it does not.
Okay. Cleaver, sh- more or less the exact same, except for this. Wow, that's actually that that's gonna be really nice in the shredding tanks. I feel like that r defines it a lot better, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
So like defines it better as a tank shredder. For tanks. I don't know. I don't even know if tanks are gonna be the only ones limited to doing this or to taking that, but that's just like it that feels really strong. Sterax, shield is basically the same, except now it gives you more based off your rage, which is you heal after taking damage. That's
Oh.
nice. That's gonna be quite a bit. So again, 6,000 health Scion. That's gonna be 180 health. So like not a small amount of health, although it's over 6 seconds. The stacks though. So like I guess you can just get 15%. That seems like a lot of health.
Yeah.
15%, yeah.
Well, it's
Especially since it
per.
also. I'm sorry. Go.
No, you can.
Well, I was saying that that would be a lot considering it also gives the 400 health.
Yeah, that's gonna be kind of I like that though. That's gonna feel
Well, uh, but something to note that it's per unique champion. The stacking,
oh,
uh,
okay. Okay. That's a good point.
and I'm assuming that by refreshing, it's kind of like Dorn Shield.
Okay, but
Okay.
with so with the unique champions, let's say you get a Titanic Hydra, you're probably hitting 3 people in team fight, right? So that's still quite a bit. That stance, they changed it so that it only reduces physical damage, not magic damage. Uh, sorry, I'm kind of speaking a lot. If anyone else wants to,
Listen, I'll be completely honest. I don't know what's happening half the time because I don't know that much.
it's fair
I'm
enough.
just kind of I'm just throwing out questions that affect me the most, especially ones about like characters I play like Yone and that.
All right, all right. That stance, they made it very situational. Um, mainly against high ED teams. The defy, the 30% movement speed, healing you for 20% over 2 seconds, and cleansing the ignore pain. That's crazy. That's just okay. Wits end basically the same, except now it gives you movement speed, gives you attack speed, and does not heal you anymore when you're below half.
Mm.
Overall, I kind of like the change because the movement speed is very nice. It's very feels very good. Bork, they nerfed melee damage, melee user damage by 2%, which probably needed. Stealing movement speed, that just feels better on range champions though.
Yeah, it's not as good on melees anymore, which
Oh, so
kind of
now
sucks.
didn't you need to like use the item?
Yeah, they cut
Wasn't
down.
it active? Yeah, they made it
Yeah,
a passive now.
yeah, which
Yeah,
I like that. I do like.
Yeah,
Oh, excuse me.
I don't.
coming coming from someone who needs to remember to use items more, I like that.
Yeah, yeah. I feel
A-
like
As a
it's nice.
as a set who wants to get in, I don't like that.
Fair
Or
enough.
well, I mean, I guess I do get movement speed on my cube, but like it's easier to run people down.
Um, Zeus convergence. Now I like the changes on this. I don't know what they changed here necessarily, but I do know that the accomplice thing is different. So now it's just instead of whenever you use your alt, they get bonuses. It's just all the time when you or whenever you immobilize someone. So you put those on your ADC, you immobilize someone. For the next 4 seconds, your accomplices attacks deal bonus damage. Like that's a lot. Okay, and now their turn. Okay, that's wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
That'll probably be extremely good if you pair it up with like an on-hit ADC.
Yeah. So Varus is gonna Kog'Maw. Oof, Kaisa. Yeah, that's gonna feel. I feel like even Lulu can build this. Like I feel like it's not
Okay,
designated.
I think you just want me to build it
I
when they
do. I
go
really
Lulu
do.
mid.
Maybe not Lulu mid, but I just like that. Knight's Vow. What did they do? What did they do? Oh, they took out the healing from Knight's Vow passive. That's the only major thing they did, which I don't like. I liked that your ADC could just heal the support. I I when I'd play support or some and I'd buy this, I'd look at it and I'd be like, wow, I'm getting healed a lot. Mikhail's blessing instead of Crucible, just it's basically the same. Mortal Reminder, it now goes attack speed, crit chance, movement speed, and grievous wounds. It feels less situational now, which I like, and crit chance makes so you don't have to. Yeah, I like that. Um, Although it's real easy to hit the grievous wounds. Uh,
Yeah.
Thornmail, I don't think they really changed anything about it except the immobilizing enemies gives grievous wounds. Morello, now this is the AP grievous wounds. It's basically Morello except no more penetration. Muramana, I hate this. I hate it. It takes 20 minutes to stack. Literally
Really?
20 minutes to stack.
Um, Something that they changed about tier is that in order to stack it, you have to hit abilities and your mana, its abilities and attacks.
Yeah, and
Um,
it
which
doesn't you don't get increased abilities or increased mana when you upgrade it to Muramana like you do now. It's still just
so
ugh.
like you can no longer stack it while going to lane.
Yeah,
Um,
and it
s-
feels bad because
Something that's interesting is they took ability haste from Seraphs and then put it on Mirror Mana.
yeah, which is strange, but I like it. I'm gonna be honest, I like it. Um, I don't like that Tyr's a starting item because ADCs. I feel like Ezreal's still just gonna take Doran's Blade or Call. I'm still gonna take Call on Kaisa. I like it's it just
You're very biased when it comes to that.
yeah, well yeah, but like sure it feels nice once you actually get it, but I feel like Ezreal and Kaisa don't build this anymore. I don't know who does. And So you do get double from tier. You do get 6 instead opposed to 3 mana when you hit an enemy champion. But how consistently are you gonna hit enemy champions? Not that consistently. So
Yeah. So, hold on, did they change it so that you have to hit a champion?
you have to hit something. So with
Oh,
once you get Mana or Manamune or whatever, forget what the pre, but you have to hit a spell or you have to hit an attack on an enemy, just any enemy, and like that just it does not feel great with Kaisa, and with Tyr you have to hit an ability, not just an attack, which feels even worse.
mm.
With Ezreal, I don't think it's as bad as for Kaisa, but Kaisa literally can't start with it because like you just get an irrelevant amount of stacks, and it's better to start Cole. Seraphs, I don't like that they took away the shield. Uh,
Oh, they took away the shield?
yeah, they took away the shield, and I don't like that. Although I do like this. This just screams Rise, because I think Rise's passive is basically just this.
Rise, Cassidon,
Yeah, but
any champ who's just playing on spamming their abilities.
I do like I do like everything they did, except taking away the ability haste. I don't like that they took away ability haste and the shield. That's the only thing I don't like about this, which sucks, but oh well. That's basically everything. They changed jungle items so that
They
you
did?
just yeah. So now you just need to smite in order to
Oh,
get
yeah, that's
rid
right.
of them, which it normalizes jungler builds, I guess. Allows them to build normally. But yeah, so that's
Alright, well,
I
I guess it's time to
if
give our final thoughts about the items.
overall they said they wanted it to be the similar power for the same price, which it doesn't feel like currently. It feels like it's more power, especially for AP users, in my opinion.
Mm.
And some stuff like that stance feels really strong. Wits End, like some of the bruiser items really strong.
But this is only things that have still a while to come out. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
not even telling about all the buffs and nerfs that a lot of the items are gonna need.
yeah. So like it's gonna be it's like so who knows? They might change Ginsu's back to how it is now. Like a lot of stuff could change, but I should I just do outro?
I I can do it. But
All
I
right.
wanted to also say that one thing that's very good about this update is that it's going to help people who start out, because I still struggle with choosing what would be the best versus the champion I'm laning against. But now the update is gonna show this item is recommended versus this person, which I find very helpful, and that will definitely help a lot for starters too.
Yeah, and the items themselves are grouped together very nicely.
Yeah.
Like the shop looks very nice. Although one thing I do have to complain about the shop is you can no longer sort it by what stats you want.
Um,
Yes, I did see
that's
that.
that's coming in the next
Oh,
update.
that's coming? Okay, I have
Yeah.
no complaints then.
Okay, that's good. Zach, do you have your final thoughts?
Uh, there's a lot of uh penetration in this. I feel like mana is harder to build now, which I mean they did buff some champions mana, but like sometimes you still need more mana and it's not as viable to build unless of course you're an AP user. Um or not an AP user, a mage. Um and yeah, tanks feel a bit weaker compared to other champs.
Well, if that is everything, I just want to thank anyone who sat through this incredibly long first video. Um,
Yeah. How long have we been recording?
probably like 2 hours. I don't know, an hour and a
Jeez.
half.
All right. Well, if you do
Oh,
sit through
only
this,
hour and 20.
oh well, either way, if you did sit through this, thank you. We're just kind of starting off, see how this will go,
Yeah,
and we
have some
don't
fun.
really. We should probably figure out a schedule if we're gonna keep this going.
Yeah, I do plan on releasing. I don't know about you guys, but I plan on releasing a solo some solo stuff. Right now I just some more item stuff specifically on Kaisa if anyone's interested on Kaisa, but I'm probably just gonna record myself going into practice tool and test some DPS builds.
Well, it's just we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, yeah.
Although the next episode of this, we plan on talking about All for One next?
Oh, we can do that. Yeah, that sounds like fun, even though it's past, and then we can probably do one on Earth. Just if
Yeah.
someone sits through, let us know something you'd like to hear us talk about, and we might talk about it if we find it interesting.
All right. Well, thank you for sitting through this podcast, which name we still have yet to figure out because we're not even sure if this is going to be all about League or if we're probably going to have other topics
Yeah,
mixed in here.
I'm thinking maybe some D&D stuff, you know,
Maybe
any
just some general chat.
like
Who
high
knows?
school horror stories. That's fresh in our minds. Well,
Anyway,
all right. Thank you.
okay.
See you guys
Yeah,
next time.
just if you did sit through this, thank you, and we'll see you later.